And hello everybody! Welcome, for the first time in 2.5 years, back to Final Fantasy XII. So this series may not be every day, it'll just be every day that I actually feel like recording an episode. One second, I have to meddle around with the sound just a little bit more. Unfortunately, the sound is already down at 5%. There we go. That should be good. Yeah. So this episode, this series will just be every day when I feel like it, essentially. So for right now, because it's been 2.5 years, we're just going to run around and talk about the game real quick. So this game was released for the PS2 long, long ago in the deeps of time, essentially. Actually, let's... yeah, so... the story is centered around Rabanastre, the royal city of Rabanastre in the Kingdom of Dalmasca, which the game began... God, I had this all planned out last night, but that was late at night and I forgot all about it. The game begins with a young man named Rex, R-E-K-S, who is fighting in a war against the Arcadian Empire, who's up to the north there. They occupy most of the northern continent. There's another empire that occupies the southern continent here, who we have not seen yet. Actually, I think they're over there, but we haven't seen them yet. Arcadia was invading through... I don't know, can you see my mouse? I don't know. They were invading through this whole peninsula, this sort of like this sort of, you know, crossroads of the world sort of situation, through Nalbina and recently Rabanastre. A soldier named Bosch, Captain Bosch von Ronsenberg, was in command of the army in charge of resisting, or not in charge, but he fought with the resisting armies at first. They lost, and during the signing of the treaty between Dalmasca and Arcadia up here, he led whatever troops he could scrape together into the Nalbina fortress where the treaty was being signed, and up into the throne room where they hoped to stop the king from signing the treaty and signing away Dalmasca. What actually happened once they got there is Rex got there later than the others, just in time to see Captain Bosch kill the Rabanastre, the Dalmascan king. No one knows why he did it. But Rex was left alive to take the message back, you know, to take back what he'd seen as a witness, essentially. I think he later died in a military hospital, but the game was rather vague about all that. The game picks up a year or two later with his brother, with Rex's brother, Vaughn. This guy right here. Which is the guy I am currently playing as. That's him right there. Vaughn is an orphan. His parents were killed by a plague years before the war, and he at first was living with the family of his best friend, Pinello, but her parents were also killed during the war. So now he just basically hates the Empire, blames them for every bad thing that's happened. Typical sort of thing for, you know, a late teenager. So, and for a long time he's harbored visions of revenge against the Empire, mostly in terms of picking the pockets of Imperial soldiers. But his dream for a while has been to gather enough money together to become a sky pirate, and then of course everything will be right with the world. He'll have his own airship, he'll be able to go wherever he wants, etc. I'm trying to think of how best to... He and Pinello and a bunch of other orphan kids have been taken in, sort of like, not as a family thing, but just as like a caretaker role by an elderly shopkeeper by the name of Miguelo, who runs like a sort of just a general goods shop, food, supplies, that sort of thing. Um, when the new imperial consul came into Rabanastre, Lord Vane Solidor, crown prince of the empire and heir apparent to the throne, um, Miguelo, of course, being a businessman, started to get in good with the new consul, and was contracted to provide all of the food for a feast in the consul's honor in the palace. Vaughn used the feast and the lessened outer security in order to sneak into the palace, went through a fairly interesting series of events, and managed to get into the treasure chamber, which had all the treasures of Dalmasca in it. Treasures, of course, which belonged to Dalmasca and not to the Empire. And by belong to Dalmasca, I mean Vaughn could sell for money. Uh, he gets in, he steals a stone, a very interesting looking stone called the, one second, it's called the Goddess's Magicite, I think? Where is it? It's an accessories. Yes, the Goddess's Magicite. He stole this from the treasure chamber. But during the escape, he was interrupted by these two, Balthier and Fran, sky pirates, who are also in the palace looking for things to steal. He ran from them, but the three of them managed to run straight into an attack led by the Dalmascan resistance, aiming at taking whatever soldiers they could find and killing Vane. And ideally, of course, driving the Imperials out of Dalmasca, but who knows if that's really going to happen, to be honest. So what was next? For some reason, the little sky bike motorcycle thing that they were using malfunctioned, powered by magic, malfunctioned and crashed them into the sewers underneath the city of Rabanastre. One second. I'm going to... No, I'm not. I'm going to go through the world map to get to the map for Rabanastre. Yeah. So, it took them into the sewers. It crashed them here. We went up this way, and it crashed them into the sewers down here somewhere. And they managed to fight their way through the sewers, through monsters and guards and everything else, until eventually getting back almost back up to town, and then they got captured. They were first aided for a long time by a mysterious woman, member of the resistance named Amalia. She escaped just before Imperial troops surrounded them. Just massive numbers of troops, and more than they could fight, really. They took them back up to Lowtown underneath Dalmasca, where they put them in irons and hauled them away to Nabana Fortress. And they hauled Vaughn away right in front of his best friend Penello, who had told him not to get in trouble. So, that's always fun. They hauled them away to the Nabana dungeons, where we went through, a fairly typical, prison escape scenario, which is very fun, actually. Went through a prison escape scenario where we met up with, or where we saw, but did not have to fight, luckily, a judge, one of the sort of judge, jury, and executioners of the Arcadian army. Following him, essentially using his authority to get out of the dungeon, sneaking along behind him, we managed to get into the under dungeons. We managed to get into the under dungeons of the Nabana Fortress, where we found cages hanging over a seemingly bottomless pit, one of which was occupied by Captain Bosch von Ronsenberg, who, we had been told, apparently, had been executed for his crimes ages ago. So why was he down there? He claimed that it wasn't him that killed the king, it was in fact his twin brother, who is now working for the Empire, specifically as a judge. The same judge, mind you, I think, that we followed to get down here. Yeah, it was the same judge. It was. The same judge that we followed to get down here. An unbelievable story, perhaps. But true? Maybe. In any case, in order to escape, we got on... We all... we dogpiled onto a cage and sent the chain crashing down into the Barheim Passage. Once in there, we had to fight our way through other monsters, including electricity. It's not really electricity, it's magical electricity stealing mimics, and slimes and oozes and God knows what other horrible things, all the way through the Barheim Passage until we finally came out in the Estersand, which we were able to make our way south and west back to Rabanaster, where we were free, but wanted, of course, so we couldn't be too obvious about it. Once there, Vaughn could not find Penello anywhere. Upon some investigation, once there, Bosch left the party and went back to find the Damascan resistance, where he knew he would have to answer and convince them that he was not guilty. A difficult task, but he had to do it. Fran and Balthier went off to get drunk, and then to get out, and leave this godforsaken, profitless land at once. Obviously that didn't happen, as they're in my party right now. Vaughn tried to find Penello, couldn't, and one of the other orphans told him that Miguelo needed him urgently and was in the Sandsea Inn, where he found him and found out that Penello had been taken by bounty hunters because the bounty hunters thought that Penello was an associate of Balthier's, based on how they had acted when they were being arrested in Lowtown. So combined with Miguelo's pleading and Vaughn's insistence that they help, Balthier and Fran decide, okay, fine, this calls us even. We're going to find her. We're going to get her back. We're done. We're not getting involved. We all know where this is going, of course. And at that point, we sailed off to Bujerba on our quest to find Penello and her kidnappers. To that end, we have entered the Lusu mines, and we are here where we left off on the last episode 2.5 years ago. Things aren't quite as they were then. I do know a bit more about the game. I did spend the time to look up things about the game that I did not know about before. Okay, I'm definitely going to do something about the sound, though. 1 second. 3%. Okay. But you'll notice that this is one of the main criticisms leveled at the game, is that you noticed even when I was messing around with the sound, I wasn't even touching the controller really. The guys were still fighting. There's a sort of automatic combat system called gambits here that allow us to make automatic decisions, essentially. So in this case, Vaughn tries to steal from an enemy first thing off the bat. It's basically double loot. If it ever gets in the way, I can turn it off at a whim, but it's basically double loot. Everyone tries to heal up allies when they hit 50%, except for Bosch, who doesn't have any spells, but that's fine. Everyone tries to heal up allies when they hit 50% health in combat, or 80% health after combat. Because see, it's below. It's basically like those really basic programming games, right? Where you just put blocks of code above or below each other to make them run in sequence. That's basically what it is. We also have this license system, which gives us the ability to unlock new what's the word I'm looking for here? Unlock new abilities and proficiencies, essentially. You get license points by killing monsters. Fairly simple. Ooh, you can see those big glowing things there. Those are traps. Yeah, see, I just stole a bat fang. And I stole another bat fang. So now I just have to kill them both. And I might get even more bat fangs. Windstone. That'll be fine. Alright, you guys better not set off those traps. God damn it! Pieces of shit. Alright, stole a bone fragment. Ah! Couldn't steal. Now, the fun thing is... Oh yes, we found this kid, Lamont. Fairly young man. Not... Oh gods, just kill it. Oh, because he's not targeting the... He's targeting a guest, not a party member. Okay, the failures of our gambit system sometimes. Lamont is a fairly young person. We don't really know much about him. He wanted an escort into the Bujerba mines. Into the Lusu mines. So, we're going into the mines. We took him with us. He knows a bit more about our party than he should. Let's put it that way. We've also learned... Oh yes! That the Marquis Ondor, the leader of Bujerba, is... Supposedly he's supposed to be keeping Bujerba separate, neutral in all contexts. Anyone can come here, anyone can leave. But he may be playing more than one game. And it's recently been discovered that he is diverting some of the purest... These mines mine out magicite, which is magical material, essentially. You know, it's the material that makes the magic happen, essentially. Okay, cool. Friends level 11. Lovely. It's the material that makes magic happen, and it is also the material that makes Bujerba a floating city, a floating continent. Oh, not that. World map. Yeah, you see, we're here above Purvama, above the sea here. We're above the sea, floating in the air, and it's the magicite in these mines that makes us do it. I mean, obviously they're not going to mine out the magicite that keeps them floating, but all the other magicite can be mined, and they are doing so. But it seems that the Marquis has been selling off, and that is how they pronounce it in the game. I know it's supposed to be like Maquis, but they're pronouncing it Marquis in the game, so shut up. He's been selling off the purest of it to the Empire. For what reason? We're not really sure. Oh, come on, just die. Oh my god, this is getting bad. This is getting really bad, guys. No! Kill the... No, don't attack yourself. Kill the weak ones now. And Lamont's down. Phoenix down on Lamont. This is the downside of trying to... Okay, yeah, Lamont has free high potions forever, which is why he's one of the best characters. He can't revive people, but he's got free high potions forever, which makes him one of the best characters to have in your party. Also, I think Balthier... Yeah, Balthier and Vaughn are both dagger boys. They're using daggers. Balthier used to have a gun, but I looked it up, and apparently he is literally the worst at shooting. He has the slowest speed with a gun of any character. They gave him a gun as a fake-out, essentially. Alright, there we go. Now, I think we've reached a level where we can just run back and forth. Yeah, I'm going to turn off that gambit for right now. I'm going to turn off that gambit for right now, because I think we've reached a point where we can sort of run back and forth and build up a chain level on these skeletons. Which would be lovely, because the game doesn't really have achievements per se. It predated achievements, but it does have a system very much like it in the Sky Pirates Den. If we go to the Clan Primer, Sky Pirates Den, You see, awarded for attacking over 300 times, stealing over 50 times, felling 500 foes, casting a bunch of magic, using techniques, etc. You see, it's achievements before achievements existed. Well, not before they existed, but before they were popular. It's hipster achievements. There we go. That's a good description. Hipster achievements. But I think there's an achievement. There's an award for getting a super high chain level. So I think I can just run back and forth along this bridge and do that while I talk about the game, sort of. Okay. I think. Yeah. See, here they come. Here comes some more of them. So yeah, it's got this sort of active battle system, which is very different from any other Final Fantasy before it, which a lot of people really hated. A lot of people were not pleased at all about its existence. Alright, let's swap Balthier out for Bosch. Get Sword Boy back in here. Yeah, Bosch is a Sword Boy. Fran is literally the worst character. She's not good at anything. I looked it up. She is not good at anything. She has no particular set of skills that would make her good at anything. Which is just lovely, really. Just the loveliest. Ow! Piss off. We've got an 18 chain running so far. Yeah, so Vaughn is sort of the orphan boy. He's not the best, but he's good at daggers, essentially. He's good with daggers. Fairly good with magic, I believe. Oh, good. Vaughn leveled up, too. He's good with daggers. I think he's fairly good with magic. And... oh, boy. And he's slowed. Lovely. Well, I'll just have to wait for that to wear off, because none of us have haste. Honestly, even with his slow, he's still almost as fast as Fran is. Oh, God. As I said, Balthier is actually really good with daggers. Well, daggers and blades, essentially. He's a sky pirate, arrogant, cocky, the leading man in his own story. I'm sure most of us know the type. Fran is his associate, his partner. Despite her looks, you can't really see her. I'm going to switch over to her real quick. Despite her looks, she is not a Playboy bunny. And trying to treat her like one is probably a bad idea. Just saying. Vaughn and Balthier, I should say, both have these Assassin's Daggers, which provide a power on hit they have a chance to kill. If they have a chance to kill anything if they hit. I think most bosses are immune to it, obviously, but it is very possible to just kill an enemy. It is very possible to simply kill an enemy straight off, even if it normally takes 10 hits to kill them. They just drop one day, which is really cool. Oh, here's more. Most of the money in this game, oh, not there, is earned through loot. So these bone fragments, for instance, are going to be quite valuable, actually. And you can earn various sorts of loot, up to 99 per stack, as usual in a Final Fantasy game. Ding. I'm trying to think what other major aspects of the game. Licenses are required to wield any items. Items can't really be wielded without licenses to use them. Why aren't you attacking whenever you want? That's why. Party leader's target. Nearest visible. Because I am usually the party leader, so once Vaughn attacks a target, all the others attack the party leader's target, and I'm usually playing as Vaughn, just because. Oh, and that's Fran at level 12. Good. Level 12 is fairly weak, but not super weak. Okay. We're probably right at level for what where we are. We're where we are supposed to be. There we go. There's more of them. Lovely. We're at 30-something chain level right now. 31. And of course, as the chain level goes up, the loot gets better as well. So this is a chance for us to make some money. Like, we're getting double loot, we're getting effects like Protect on us from the loot. Protect gives us resistance to physical attacks, mind you. We're getting some minor healing for loot. You know, we're getting, like, all sorts of crazy shit. It's great. It's great. Whew. Yeah, some things are immune to the auto kill, but for things that aren't, it's really helpful. Alright, let's just do a swing back through here. I think the achievement is for a chain of 50, and we appear to have exhausted the area. That is unfortunate. I'm going to try leaving and coming back. Because, see, the chain isn't killing a bunch of enemies. The chain is killing a bunch of the same enemies. The chain is killing, like, 50 skeletons in a row. Not just 50 enemies, but 50 skeletons. I believe I've heard rumors of, that I have not confirmed the existence of, another chain level. Yep, there we go again. Another chain level that revolves around killing different enemies. And, there's a 36 chain, lovely. Killing different enemies, so like you kill one skeleton, then one bat, then one slime, then one skeleton, then one, you know, you keep rotating through and killing a bunch of different enemies in a row. And, alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run two scenes away, and then run back, and it should be fine. You kill a bunch of different enemies, one at a time, essentially. Instead of killing a bunch of enemies of the same type, you kill a bunch of enemies of different types, and that supposedly will also give a chain level that does something else, but I don't know what it does, and I can't even confirm that it exists, so we're going to assume that it does not. So I'm just holding down R2 or RT or whatever. I think it's called, yeah, it's called RT on this controller, but it's wrong place, wrong place, wrong place. Oh, Lamont, sorry, you're dead. Probably. We'll res you once we get to the next level. Once we get to the next section. He's not dead yet. All right, we're loose. Cure him. Nice. Good teamwork. Good work, team. Now, the trick is you go 2 maps away. You go 2 sections away. You come back, and everything is respawned. That's the trick, anyways. And it seems to be working. Which will get us up to our 50 chain. 37 so far. Oh god, there's so many of them. Okay. Bone fragments. Oh my god. So, while I'm playing this game, since I mention it now, yeah, you see down there, that's the sky. The clouds are down there. We're at 40 chain, lovely. While I'm playing this game, I'm also going to be looking around and taking notes. Not like physical notes, but just mental notes about architecture and design for my own use as a writer and a builder in Minecraft, essentially. Because this game has an astounding, if I remember correctly, has an astounding array of environments and architectural styles. So that'll be really cool. Oh, good. Poison. Yay. Antidote. Antidote to me, please. There we go. Oh, hey. The treasure's back, too. Lovely. Alright. We got a dark stone. Oh, we got a lot of things, but... Alright. That gives us a 45 chain so far. Oh, and we probably also have a fuck ton of license points as well. Yep. We got enough for Vaughn to learn his quickening, which are amazing, like, super attacks, missed abilities. Oh, no. Balthier can get close to his quickening. He only needs 10 more kills, 10 more points to get Fires of War. And Fran can get very close to hers. She needs 8 more points to get Feral Strike. And these can be chained together from character to character, too. Very cool stuff. I'll need to practice to get good at it, though. But, yeah, this is going to be an interesting time. And... yeah, and you'll see with increased chains comes multi-hit as well. You saw Vaughn hit 3 times there. Just bam, bam, bam! Oh, and there's a level up for Vaughn. So I think he's actually going to come out of the party. Balthier's going to come in. Oh, which means I need to adjust those gambits. No, don't turn them off. What? Foe party leader's target. Switch over to... I guess we'll play as Balthier for right now. We'll make him do nearest visible. Yeah. I like playing as the frontline guy. I like being able to see what's going on at the front, you know? Oh, don't tell me that they're done already. There we go. That's better. I play the leading man. Who else? Oh, 50 chain. Let's see if that did it. Yep, Sky Pirate's Den. Who did we get for that? Ah, there he is. Mont Blanc. Awarded for completing a 50 chain in battle, earning the title of the Unrelenting. Alright. And then the bestiary also contains details about every single enemy we kill, as well as details about the world in the Sage Knowledge that you get when you kill enough enemies. And they're all done in this really awesome, like, writing style. Many are those who bear burdens through life, and fail to relinquish them at the moment of death. Weighted down, they attain not heaven, but are cast aside to wander the land as skeletons. Robbed of the pardon of flesh, they are cursed to walk for eons, till their very bones are reduced to ash. Only when they are undone and gone from this world, and nothing remains to bear that which they should not have borne, will they permit themselves eternal sleep. All of which is to say, skeletons are beings who do not relinquish their burdens when they die, and instead they have to be destroyed before they can move on to the afterlife. Yeah, and then it provides sort of like in-universe tips and tricks, essentially, in the bestiary. So that's really cool. I might go through some of those for some episodes when I feel it's getting a little, when I feel we have time to. But we're going to move on to the next sections now, probably. Alright, die, die, die. There we go. Dang. Alright, so I need to go up, right? Yeah, I need to go upwards. And fight whatever's in my way, of course, because that gives me XP and license points, which are super useful. I wonder if I have enough now. Balthier's at 49, but Fran is at 51, so I can give her Feral Strike now. Bam. Done. Oh, and Bosch is at 67. I don't even know what to go for him. More of these, probably. Yeah, Battle Lord, definitely. I've kind of been steering him away from magic. I feel it might be funny just if he can't do any magic ever. But I don't know. Oh, I don't have license points for that. He doesn't have... I'll just start saving them up then. Alright, last one. And then Balthier can get his license, his thing, I think. Yeah, now he's at 50. Fires of War. Bam. Done. They all have a mist ability now. Now, the fun thing is, when you get one mist ability, your MP bar down there sort of glows, right? When you get two mist abilities, your MP bar doubles. And with 3, which is the maximum for any character, your MP bar triples from its original state. Super useful. So it's always worth it to get mists. Even if you never even want to use them, it's always worth it. Oh, you know what? We've been going for a while, haven't we? Let me look. About 35 minutes now, so I think it's close to time we end the episode. I'm going to end the episode with Mist, as we did last time. Oh, he doesn't have enough. 1 second. Yeah, she's going to cast Mist on the Skull Defender. We're just going to show off, essentially. This is how we ended the last episode, too, so maybe it'll be another 2.5 years before we get another one. Bosh, Fulminating Darkness next. Because, see, we're going to chain them up. The trick is, it uses up their MP when they do it, so we have to shuffle and charge, but we can't do it with this. We missed it up. But see, we chained them together, and we did fuck tons of damage. So that'll be it for this episode, guys. I will see you next time. Have fun.